Hi everyone, I'm Tanmay Shivarya, sales head in Pro Insure for Life, and in my team we have Sahil, Avdesh, me, Aniket, and Shreyas. We are an insurance company. We are fairly a new startup working in the insurance sector. Our company expertise is with market and insurance. We have created ULIP plans according to government guidelines, which are handled by our hedge fund managers. Customer gets satisfaction of insurance and profit of mutual funds with a lock-in period. In my team, we have Sahil as marketing head, Avdesh as data scientist, me as sales head, Aniket as business analyst, and Shreyas as business analyst for sales. This is the flowchart of our company. So first, Sahil, marketing team will get data from different sources. Then they will give to sales pro to they will transfer to sales in CRM. We are using Salesforce as our CRM tool. Then we will download that data in Google Sheet. From Google Sheet, we will give to analytics team. So one will go to Python team, machine learning, and one will go to Power BI team. Now, marketing team head Sahil will take over from here.
Yeah. So hi everyone. My name is Sahil Pathak and I'm the marketing head of the company. And my job is to gather as many leads as possible from different data sources in a given budget. So as you can see from the slide, the first point we are gathering from marketing, and we collect data from different advertising sources like Meta and Google according to our requirements like demography and income sale. The second point is we gather data from the third party agents as well. And the third point is we gather data from sales reference, and the salesperson also get reward points for providing new leads. And currently we don't have any field sales team. And the last point is we gather data from the organic leads directly into our database. uh, can you go to next slide, please? Yeah. So this slide will give information on how we collect the starting data. So the main method used to collect data from the Meta platform is the Graph API concept. And this is a HTTP-based API to do a wide range of functions, like including managing ads and posting new stories and programmatically querying the new data. So the below screenshot will show the access token and the page ID and how we are collecting the data. So let me share the code part where I'll explain how we are gathering the data. So as you can see, this is the code part where we are collecting data from Graph API, and this is the data which we get. Now, after receiving the data, using the Scicop library in Python, we are connecting to the Postgres database and then creating a database we want. We are creating a BIBA project database where we'll be storing our data. After the creation of the database, in the BIBA project database, we will be creating a insurance leads table. The DDL is shown as like this, and this will create a table. After the creation of the table, we'll be inserting the data which we retrieved from API into the table, and this code is executing the same. Now let me go to the database part. Yeah, so this is the Postgres database where we have defined our leads table. And if I do a select star from this table, so as you can see, the query has run successfully and we have close to 5,000 records. And this is the data which we have got. It includes the lead generation data as well. Now, yes, this data we have written to a Postgres. So as you can see in this slide, the first point shows the Postgres part. Now the second point will show how we are connecting our Postgres database to the Salesforce CRM software using a Staxing third-party software. Let me go to that part. Yeah, so this is the Staxing third-party software, which will connect to the Postgres database using the given details below, which we are filling the host, port number, username, passwords, and the database as Postgres. And next part will connect to the Salesforce software, CRM software, using this standard account software. After the integration of this both database and Salesforce, we will be transferring data from Postgres to Salesforce, and it is happening as like this given the picture. So this blue part is indicating the data flow from Postgres to Salesforce, and we have defined column names as well, which we want. Yeah. So now we'll move on to the next part, to the sales part.
Yeah. So after getting data from marketing team as leads, then we will get it. So we are getting data from Postgres SQL in our leads table. Then my sales people will call each and every lead and help them creating an account on our website. After that, we will get columns like income, age, and overall details of each customer, even their banking details and their address. And we customer will also type that in website, and we will also call and confirm all the details from customer. After all the process, my salesperson will call and ask customer, and we'll explain him about all our policies, all about all of the products. And if customer is interested, and if he will buy the product from us, then we will mark that lead as closed and won. If customer is not interested, then we'll mark it as closed and lost. So for my salesperson, the main objective is to close the deal as soon as possible in the given time. So if you see, this is my lead table. So this is where I'm getting all the leads. Then from leads, after that we are creating an account. After creating an account, in account, if you go, we can create an opportunity, entering all the details. And this is where we will get all the opportunities. So I will share my screen for Salesforce here. So this is my lead paths. When I will open a lead, I will get a mobile number. From that, after calling on that mobile number, I will create an account. That account will go to account section, accounts. Then here are all my accounts. If I click on any one of them, so now this account is created. For opportunity, I will click on new opportunity. I will go on opportunity, I will click new. Now here I will create a new opportunity. What the customer demand is and everything, I will type here. My salesperson will type here, and then I will save it. Click on save. After creating an opportunity, that will go to opportunity tab. Here I can check all of my opportunities for data purposes. So after this, after creating opportunities, I will extract all my data into Google Sheet using G connector. I'm using Google Sheet because in G connector I can update my data in every 3 hours, every 4 hours, and I can automate this. And from this, I will get from Salesforce. I'm getting three type of data. I'm getting, if I will show my Google Sheet, I'm getting all leads, all contacts, all opportunity, and the extension I'm using is G Connect Salesforce. After this, after getting data in my Google Sheet, I will provide data to now Power BI team and the analyst team to visualize my data and to analyze my data. Shreyas, as my business analyst, will share his screen. Sorry.
Hi, I'm Chris. Although I'm the business analyst with the sales division. Now look at how the sales data has performed over the specified period and what are the things we can improve to improve our sales. This is the table connection that we have done across three data sets. Oh, that's a one-to-one connection. Now in this dashboard, you can look at how the sales of the ULIP, that is unit link investment plan, has been across the different features. In the specified period, the total sum of sales that we have done is around 890 million. That's pretty a good number. And the count of sales that we have done is around 1.582K. Even that's a great number. And we have added a month slicer for month-on-month data so that we can analyze across each month how the performance has been of sales. Then this graph helps us to understand in which month we got good leads and which conversion percentage, which provides better understanding of the quality of leads. In the graph, you can see that during the April month, the sales has been very good, and the conversion across all the months has been around 30 to 45%. That's something that we can try to improve on from the next year. Here, both of the pie charts gives the count and the sum of sales of product, which can be helpful to determine whether the product demand is high, which provides the greater profit, and what are the quality of products we can change, and how the type or the slab of the products we can change. Here you may observe that the sales of 5 lakh package is very high, but when we compare for the amount of revenue we have got through the sales, the 20 lakh package is barely higher than the 5 lakh package. So we may need to improve on that. This graph provides us a better understanding of our demography. We can check that Karnataka buys more quantity, but the average price per sale is low. The same is in the case of Punjab. There's a huge difference in the number of products they purchase versus the average, and vice versa in some other states. Once again, this is the sales data. In this dashboard, it gives us the details of the lead sources, how the sales are performed across different lead sources, across different features. Here's the total number of sales by the lead source. So here you can observe that the marketing has been the major share of lead source, which will be helpful to get the lead generation. In this second bar chart, you can observe that the lead source by gender, we can see that the target audience is male, as the maximum leads are given by the male, and the female is comparatively less, which is something that we may focus on. This graph depicts the distribution of lead sources across different categories of age. It is visible in this graph that the age group of 23 to 39 is our main target, as they provide the 80% of the sales, and we may need to concentrate more on the age group of 40 to 59 to get better results in coming years. This graph shows the relationship between the income and the lead sources. It helps us in determining which income group gives us the maximum lead. To our shocking to see that the 30 to 40 lakhs lab provide the maximum lead, whereas the 25 to 30 is almost half of it. And this helps us to determine the actual target audience. Now, I will explain this.
Yeah. So this graph will represent the different occupation provided by each lead source, as you can see on the right side. And this will help us to evaluate which lead source is compatible with bringing a particular occupation person. And so from this graph, we can conclude that marketing has been very effective as it is bringing more and more leads compared to the other sources.
Once we'll check the Power BI results. This is the dashboard for account data. As you can see, the occupation has been distributed over the lead sources, and marketing has been the major source of contribution to get the client. And you can check that marketing has been a greater contribution for the clients to get the client. And the third part is the second highest. Now let's go back to sales data dashboard. Here we can, with the help of the slicer, we can check what are the sales across different months, how it has performed. The further explanation will be given by my associate business analyst, Aniket.
Thank you, Shreyas. Hi, my name is Aniket Shetty, and I'm a business analyst. And my job is to create a dashboard that will cover the journey from lead to sales to identify any areas of improvement or obstacles. So the questions what I would be focusing on: why are our leads dropping? Identifying which sources are have the low conversion rates, and which is an effective lead source by the percentage of potential customers who became the actual buyers. All right. Starting with the funnel report. So this is the overall journey of our customers. The number of leads what we got right from 5K to the closed deals, that is around 1K. All right. So let's understand like how the customers were dropped in between. Where what happened to those customers? So from number of leads to total account created, there were 1K dropped. So 1K they didn't show interest probably. Okay. All right. From 4K till opportunities created, 2K customers were lost. So what were the reason for the loss of these customers? The reasons were some of the basic criteria from the company. So if the customers had some health issues, they were rejected. If our customers did not fill in the income bracket what we are accepting, so they were rejected in that case as well. And the age criteria is one of the thing, and also the customers, if they were a passive smoker, they were rejected. So marketing source, the income criteria, 1K around 1K were rejected, and around 600 were rejected from the age criteria. Okay. All right. So let me also come back to this funnel report. So from opportunity generated, okay, from 2K to closed deals. So we had lost 1K customers over here as well. So only 1K customers were really identified as our potential customers, and they had closed the deal with the company, but the remaining 1K were lost. So out of those 1K customers, what were the reasons they left the policy or they did not buy the policy? So some of the customers found the policy to be expensive. That was around 55 alone from the marketing source, and 31 customers found a better offer from the competitors. So let us look at the overall figure. So these are the overall figures for both of the lost reasons. All right. Let me come to the conversion rate dashboard, which will explain us the overall conversion rate. So out of 5K leads, we converted around 21% of customers successfully. So this is a good percent actually. And So let us see the conversion rate as per the top lead source. So let us understand marketing first. So for marketing as well, there was a 21% leads that were converted successfully. For third party, there was 21% again. For reference, there were 20%, and for organic, it was 19%. So if we see this graph, it will show us all the lead source that were converted successfully. Okay, and it is all around 20%. So which is good in this case. All right. So out of the total leads, 2% were the customers who did not take the deal. 7% were the customers who are still in progress, who are still deciding, or still the negotiation is going on. And total, 68% were rejected because of the reasons like health issues and being a passive smoker, not fitting into the age criteria, and not coming into the income criteria of the company. All right. So let us look at this chart, which shows us the customers lost by states. So as we can observe, Punjab, Kerala, and Haryana has the lowest rejection or loss rate of customers. Okay, so in this case, I think we should be focusing on these three customers highly. All from my end. I think so. Next would be Avdesh, who would be taking over from here. Over to you, Avdesh.
Thanks, Aniket, and hello everyone. I'm Avdesh Trivedi, and I'm working as a data scientist in the organization. So let me just share my screen and I'll walk through. I'm working as a data scientist, and my job is to build a predictive model for the marketing team. So let me give a short definition of what exactly the predictive model is. So predictive model is basically a statistical or a machine learning algorithm that uses a historical data to forecast the future outcomes and their behaviors. So in our case, we have a data from the leads, account, and the opportunity. So we are merging this data on the customer ID, and basically we're predicting the leads for the marketing team, whether the leads are going to convert or not. And the objective is the profit maximization in the business model. So we are predicting the number of leads to be achieved in the coming months to reach our objectives, and also to find out the distribution, whether the distribution between the marketing and the third party agents. To do so, let me go to the next slide. Yep. So before going ahead with the model building part, I went to the data sanity check. For that, I built some of the plots for the same. So if you see the left plot, which is for the age against the stage variable, and stage is basically the leads, whether the leads are converted or not. And the 0 indicates the lead is not converted, and 1 is the leads are converted. So if you observe the box plot, it is fairly the same for both the leads converted and not converted for the age, and there are no outliers present in the data. And the plot at the center is for the frequency of the stage. It's basically to identify whether the data is a balanced or imbalanced data. So if you see the data is an imbalanced data, but it is not a highly imbalanced data, that we need to do, sophisticated data imbalance technique for the same. So we'll just go ahead with the data without doing any imbalance technique for the same. And the last chart is the correlation metrics for the numerical variables. Here, if you observe the chart, the stage variable has a stage which is nothing but leads, whether the leads are converted or not. It is highly correlated with the amount variable. In this slide, I'll go through the workflow, like what all the steps were performed for the model building steps after the data sanity check and the data cleaning. So next was the data pre-processing. And to do so, I built a pipeline for the same. And the pipeline was built in such a way, initially it will divide the numericals and the categorical variables. And there is a different implementation for the numericals and a different for the categoricals. And missing values are imputed for both numerical and the categorical variables if there are any missing values. And for the numerical variables, I performed the standardization to bring all the numerical variables in the same scale. And for the categorical variables, I did the one-hot encoding. And once all the data was done, we built a basic logistic regression. The motto behind using a logistic regression is first was to build a very basic model to understand. And since the interpretability becomes very easy with the logistic regression, that's why we went ahead with the logistic regression. And the next, let me just share the code for the same. I'll walk through the code. This is the code of all the analysis where we are importing the data from the Google Sheet and then checking for the missing values, dropping the unwanted columns, noise columns, and then checking the head and plotting the variables which we have shown in the PPT. And these are the pipeline steps where we are imputing the missing values and then one-hot encoding and the standardization for the numerical variables. And in this particular part, we are using a grid search as well to hypertune the hyperparameters of the logistic regression. And once we get the best, these are the classifier C0.01 is the best value for the logistic regression, and the penalty is L2 penalty. Once this all is implemented, we check our train and the test accuracy. So there wasn't a much difference between the train and the test accuracy. So we can say that the model is performing well and it's not overfitting. And then we also check the FN score for the same. So once we did all this base model building part, we went ahead and built another model for the same, which we used the XGBoost. So same steps were performed in the XGBoost as well. And then again, we checked the train and the test accuracy for same. And then the last, we just compare this is the plot for the accuracy with the hyperparameters of the XGBoost, where it is telling it at what number of estimators is optimum to get the high accuracy. And finally, here we're just comparing the hyperparameters and the accuracy of the XGBoost and the logistic regression. So if I go back to the PPT again, in this particular slide, we are just comparing the result of both the logistic and the XGBoost model. So if you observe the both the train and the test accuracy, and even the FN score is more or less the same in both the models. So this was all about the model building part. And next is the conclusion or the inferences what we have observed throughout the data analysis which was performed in the Power BI, and then the analysis which was analysis and the model building part in the Jupyter Notebook. The some of the pointers are that advertising, we need to focus more on the advertising for a certain age group, and that age group is from 25 to 30. And if I talk about the geography, we need to focus more on certain states like Punjab and Karnataka, as we see a lot of potential in these two particular states. And the last was the income criteria as well, as we have observed in the Power BI slides as well, that there are many leads which we have lost because of the income. So as a pilot, what we have decided is to start some insurance with a very low range, that is from 2 lakhs for the younger and to target a younger audience and the new audience. And lastly, as mentioned in the point number 2, that as we see the more potential in the Punjab and the Karnataka, we thought of hire more Kannada and the Punjabi speaker sales team so that a more targeted marketing could be done for the same. This is all about the analysis and the conclusion. Thank you.